From Bustleton to Broome, this is Spirit Drive with Matt Layton.
Right across the west, you're on Spirit Drive with Matt Layton. Yes, Western Australian legends Stu, Joel and Cav from Eskimo Joe are in the house. Good afternoon to you all.
Hey, pleasure.
Special time right now for the three of you because you've been busy celebrating 21 years of the band's existence. You all don't look a day over 20, I must say.
Oh, shucks.
But to mark the special milestone, Black Fingernails Red Wine, back in the spotlight. It's been 13 years since that album rocketed to number one on the ARIA charts. So that's a fantastic milestone. I got to say, too, on a personal note, that album actually really guided me through year 11 at Safety Bay Senior High School. So thank you very much for that.
Was it red wine or Black Fingernails or a mix of both?
I reckon New York, because anywhere was better than year 11 at Safety Bay Senior High School. 6168 represent.
Yeah.
Do you get that often, though? I guess people come up to you and go, this album or that song was so special during a period of their life?
Yeah, I think that's one of the most, the most rewarding parts of our job is getting that sort of feedback. A lot of people have difficult times in their life, and music is a pretty good healing tool, or at least a good transformative tool to take you away from a particular space that you might be in. And so it's good to get that feedback from people that, you know, this album helped me through a particularly difficult moment in my life, or even just people saying that is the soundtrack to my childhood or my schoolhood, you know.
Yeah.
It's
I think one
cool.
of the things where we see it in a really tangible way is we do these shows, like we did a bunch of these orchestra shows recently where we played with some symphony orchestras around Australia.
Yep.
And same with some of the festivals, and we just see these like quite a dramatic difference in ages of people there. So you see like really young kids who are like coming up to get their t-shirts and albums signed, and they're like, you know, 8 years old, and then you have like people who are 70 just going, oh yeah, you know, love the Eskies.
Our parents.
Yeah, that's our parents. Yeah, go away, mum. And then but then you have, you know, and then you have people who are like, you know, just hitting 21 now, who are like, you know, 6 or 7 when that album came out, and they grew up listening to it. So that's where I find it so amazing. I'm like, wow, people, because you go back to your lives and you do whatever you do between gigs, and then you forget that there's all these people out here who like take this music into their lives. It's amazing.
And also, if you can become one of those bands that have songs that you remember, you know, if you went to a supermarket with your mum and she was pushing you around in the thing and you're one of those songs, I reckon that's the bench. That's where you want to get to. Be one of those songs that's just in the ether and you just know it.
Yeah.
I think the benchmark is the soundtrack to a Sky show, to
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that was when we knew.
That was the
Off the back of Phil Collins in the air.
If you're next
and
to,
you're the voice.
Yeah.
If you're in that company.
Yeah, that's really where you know that you've made it.
That's Hall of Fame territory right there.
Skyworks represent. Before we dive, of course, into the Black Fingernails Red Wine album, we need to cast our minds back to the late 1990s, the formative years of Eskimo Joe. We should also ask, where did you all meet? How did the band come to be?
Well, me and Stu lived next door to each other when we were like 5 and 6 years old.
Bonded over a strong mutual attraction to He-Man, I believe it was.
Yes, loved He-Man and his muscles.
Took an awkward turn.
Hey, you started it.
I just opened the door, you walked through it.
Yeah, no, we became best buddies when we lived next door to each other, and then later on in our kind of high school band, me and Joel started playing together in a high school band and writing some songs. But it was through an era that we referred to as the funk metal era, which is so not a lot of those songs are worth revisiting. But
it's like the Voldemort of music genres.
Yes.
You just don't mention it.
No, you don't. Yeah, it shall remain nameless. And then at a certain point, me and Stu had started. I'd kind of started to write some of these kind of folky Pixies-inspired songs. We love a band called the Pixies. And Joel came on board, like not as a guitarist originally, but as the drummer. And instantly, as soon as we got together, the three of us, because me and Joel had already been in a previous band, the chemistry was just right straight away. We had the right group of personalities, and really that's the secret to success. If you guys can really enjoy being in a room with each other, then, you know, whether you have a hit single or not, you're going to hang out for a long period of time.
Yeah.
And that's a rare thing nowadays. It seems like most artists are solo. Even the bands are one person doing everything and taking. But it's rare nowadays, I find, to actually have a group of people who make make music together for an extended period of time. So
Yeah.
I don't know if we're the last.
We are the last.
We're the last band.
Well, which were the earlier bands and songs that you guys were pretty much influenced by, and what helped shape your sound in those early years
I
too?
think we all, we all had our own musical taste, but every time you go on the road, they'd sort of start to converge. And there was always a couple of bands we could all agree on.
It's pretty much the Beatles, the Pixies, and the Police.
Yeah.
Were the
Literally.
things on our first ever trip that we could all agree on. So we listened to that, and then we kind of subliminally decided that that's the music that we wanted to make, was that kind of thing. And then I think by the second record, Song from the Sea actually is probably the most pure or distilled version of where we actually did that.
Yeah.
And it's probably our best song. So
Yeah.
But then we made more records. You know?
All downhill from there.
Well, we'll be back with Stuart, Joel and Cav from WA Greats, Eskimo Joe. Right after this, this is Spirit Drive. Across the West, you're on Spirit Drive. West Aussie legends Eskimo Joe are in the studio this afternoon. The band is celebrating 21 years together with a reissue of the iconic 2006 album, Black Fingernails, Red Wine. Let me tell you, a lot has changed since 2006. We had John Howard, Prime Minister. He was apparently leading our last stable government as of 2019. Facts, not opinion. The current President of the United States of America was only grabbing attention via reality TV. I should actually be careful putting Trump and grabbing in the same sentence, but that's another thing. Do you sit there sometimes and go, throughout that journey, is the world a bit drunk?
Oh, you couldn't be more drunk.
Well, you'd
honestly.
hope
You'd
that
be
they're a little bit
blowing
drunk.
0.77 right now. 0.666, I reckon. Yeah. It's end of days. No, it's actually quite a fascinating time to be alive. Like, just the fact that you can make policy and fire heads of state via Twitter these days is crazy. The fact that you can literally say or do anything as long as you've got people, the majority on your side, it doesn't matter.
I think the kickback will be coming. You know, like we've gone, one direction as far as the Trump, Brexit, all that sort of stuff, and I think it'll kick back the other way soon. But the good thing is, when you're in that place, there's a lot of good things to make art about, sing about. There's good reasons to revolt against those sort of things.
Yeah, I think when you look back on all your favourite records, you kind of very briefly look over what was happening politically at the time, and then you just go, stuff it, that's a great record.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, too, you mentioned social media as well. You were pretty much out before that, and obviously it came through with MySpace during the Black Fingernails, Red Wine years, and moving on to Facebook and all that jazz. Do you long for the days that Facebook and Twitter didn't really exist?
I think everybody does, but I don't think I think once it happens, it can't unhappen.
That's true.
Yeah. Look, I don't think Pablo Picasso was stopping to do a selfie and update his Facebook while he was in the middle of creating amazing paintings. I think
It's such a distraction.
it is a massive distraction, and then you get hassled out by all the powers that be. So, oh, you've got to post, but I'm writing a song, post about it, and yeah,
gone.
yeah, song's gone.
That reminds me. Got a post.
Yeah,
Just taking a selfie for
They are
those playing
literally
at home.
doing this right now, everybody. Oh, there you go. I think we should get back into the music, maybe digressing a little bit. But predating Black Fingernails, Red Wine, you also released Girl, your debut album. A Song is a City as well. The East Coast was certainly taking notice. What was it like to become a truly national band as opposed to a Perth or a Fremantle band?
Well, it happened in slow kind of increments, and our ambitions when we released our first EP, when we did our Sweater EP, was to play the Grosvenor Backroom, which was the place to play back in those days, and sell about 500 CDs. Do you remember those shiny things that people listen to music on?
Indie Gold.
Yeah,
Like small shiny frisbees.
yeah. So
You can Google
and then
them.
by the time
For those who playing at
by the
home.
time we did our second EP, we'd done a bit of national touring. So we were like, wouldn't it be nice to get one of these songs on Triple J and do a few support tours? And then that happened. And then by the time we did our first record, we're like, well, we want to make a record which we're proud of, that we can listen to back and, think, well, that was a record that, we really loved. So that was our ambitions then. And then that we got to do those things that you wanted to do, like play on TV shows and support your favourite bands. And then by the time it was A Song as a City, it was like, it just, the horizon got a little bit further and a little bit further. So by the time we got to Black Fingernails Red Wine, we'd kind of, I guess, ticked all those indie boxes, and we were ready to go a bit more widescreen.
Private jet.
We're ready to go, diamond encrusted Learjets. So
Pretty heavy.
But I guess the ambitions slowly got bigger and bigger. It was in increments.
Did you realise straight away that you were onto a winner with Black Fingernails Red Wine?
Yes.
Yeah.
Simple answer. That's good.
Well, I think we'd built up to that, like with From the Sea. That was this song that crystallised what we were, and we were like, oh, that's when we're at our A game doing that. So we thought, let's do 10 of those for the next record. We didn't quite do 10 of those, but we had it boiled down and distilled to a point where it was super concentrated, and we just made that record, and that's why people loved that album, I think. And then with the next record, did the exact opposite and went completely schizo, like as far as it didn't sound like any particular band. But that's what we did. Like we were talking about politics before, we just kicked back on what we did before, basically, and like it probably challenged some fans, but we were just trying to keep ourselves interested because it was really about making music that we liked.
Yeah. I mean, that Black Fingernails record was such an organic kind of record to make. It didn't seem like there was a struggle to make the songs work. It was quite an easy record to write creatively. And I remember when we were trying to come up with a riff for the chorus of Black Fingernails, and Joel and I wrote pretty much exactly the same riff in different rooms and brought them into each other and went, hey, how about this? And I'm like, that's what I just wrote. So we were all on the same wavelength.
Synergy going on. Like Bono would say, we were having a shot at the title. But we felt good about it because the music we were making was the music we wanted to make. Whereas I think at the time people were probably like, oh, they're obviously having a shot at being a large band or whatever. But we grew up listening to that kind of music, so it was totally true to ourselves.
Yeah. Well, you're playing back in the hometown Fremantle this Friday, playing the album back in full. How have you structured the show? Is it all music? Will there be some, I guess, tidbits in between?
We'll tell some stories between the songs, but we'll also try and honour the record. And some, if you listen to the album, there's songs that kind of bleed into each other, and we'll make sure we do those little manoeuvres as we go. But then we'll tell some stories behind the songs, and there's some songs that we never played live that we're playing live for the first time.
I've got to say too, Stu, you dabbled in radio for a few years as well. Tell us about that, and you've moved on to a new project, is that right?
Yeah, so I was, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to mention names.
I think you can. Yeah, why not? We're all friends.
Yeah, well, it's the best and greatest radio station on the planet Earth.
That's not Spirit, yes.
And RTR FM, I was the manager up at RTR for 3 years, and just an amazing love of community radio after being immersed in that world for that long. And I think once you're in community radio, you're never out. So, and now I'm just head of Fairbridge Festival. So we've just finished the festival, so I'm looking forward to actually getting some airtime on RTR now myself. Yeah,
good stuff as well. And of course, Cav, we did catch up last year with all your devotion and Pollyanna. Correct. That was fantastic. So you were going across the country there as well too.
Yeah, I did. I managed to take some time out from the band to record a solo record, which was just a nice thing to do, just to kind of sit in a room with an acoustic guitar and record it. And then managed to find the time to get out and do a tour, which was really, awesome, and played some great shows, had lots of fun, but pretty happy to be back with the fellas because it's a lot more fun when there's more than one person.
It's great to see you all as a trio again. And I guess, last question, are you able to play us a taste of what to expect on Friday?
Most deaf.
Cannot wait. You're a bunch of legends. Stick around, guys. Eskimo Joe is here on Spirit Drive. This is Spirit Drive right across the west. The lads from Eskimo Joe are in the studio this afternoon. 21 or so years as a band. 13 years since Black Fingernails Red Wine. On top of the charts as well. We have a very special treat for you in the studio right now. Tell us, which songs would you like to play?
We're going to be kicking it off with a little number called Sarah.
Oh, yes. This is for all the Sarahs out there right across the west. Take it away, lads.
tell me your name. I've been waiting here for hours in the garden by the flowers. You're so shy, so just open your eyes. The boys out on the line to be written out in time. A long, 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 long time ago. Emergency, I think I am falling apart. Emergency, I think I am losing the fight. And I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can try. I don't know if anyone asked me the reason I lied. She sighed. Shh. Sarah, is she your new best friend? And one day it will end. You know it well. You're so shy, so just let it fall apart. Let it stumble in the dark with the razors in your heart. A long, 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 long time ago. Emergency, I think I am falling apart. Emergency, I think I am losing the fight. And I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can try. I don't know if anyone asked me the reason I lied. She said, she said, you're so shy. Emergency, I think I am falling apart. Emergency, I think I am losing the fight. And I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can try. I don't know if anyone asked me the reason I lied. She sighed. She sighed. Oh no.
Jeez, it's like being 16 again. That was freaking awesome, let me tell you. And if you can make it to Fremantle this Friday, the special Black Fingernails Red Wine show's happening at the Fremantle Social. Hear it in full and live. Ticket details on the website, eskimojoe.net. And of course, it's now available, isn't it? The special reissue of Black Fingernails Red Wine.
That is correct.
Love it. Thank you very much, Cav, Stu, Joel, Eskimo Joe. Thank you so much. All the best for the show on Friday.
Thanks, Matt. Cheers.
We'll be back soon. This is Spirit Drive across the West.